Hello, my dear students. I am Pratibha Deya from the English Lux, and today we will discuss a poem for students of class 11, Hornbill Book, poem number 2, The Voice of the Rain, written by Walt Whitman. Outline of our video is poet, introduction, recitation, summary, glossary and explanation, rhyming scheme and literary device, conclusion. Let's start. Poet of this poem is Walt Whitman, 1819–1892. Walt Whitman was a renowned American poet, essayist, and journalist. He belongs to the 19th century pre-modern poetic era. He preferred to write in a free-flowing words with no barriers of rhyme, which truly reflected his spirit of liberty. Each of his poems is, however, carefully structured. Whitman is among the most influential poets in the American canon, often called the father of free verse, popularly known as the Voice of America. Introduction. The poem The Voice of Rain is written by Walt Whitman. This poem is in a dialogue form. There is a dialogue between the poet and the rain. On being asked by the poet who it is, the rain discloses its identity. It reveals its origin and growth. The rain explains its eternal journey in its birthplace, that is, earth, to the poet. The poem presents the cyclic movement of the rain. After completing her cycle, the rain comes back to the place of its origin, the earth. The rain is personified to describe herself. She describes what she is and what blessings she showers on earth and man. The Voice of the Rain, written by Walt Whitman. Let's recite the poem. "And who art thou?" said I to the soft falling shower, which, strange to tell, gave me an answer, as here translated: "I am the poem of earth." Said the voice of the rain, "Eternal I rise, impalpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea, upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed, altogether changed, and yet the same. I descend to lave the draughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds only latent, unborn. And forever, by day and night, I give back life to my own origin, and make pure and beautify it for song, issuing from its birthplace, after fulfillment wandering, ragged or unragged, duly with love returns." Summary. In the poem, the poet asks the soft falling shower, "Who are you?" To which she replies that she is the poem of earth. The rain reveals its origin and growth. It is similar to a song that comes out from its birthplace, moves round, and then comes back to its birthplace. It is a strange thing for the rain to reply to the poet. The rain told the poet that she cannot be touched, as she rises in the form of water vapor in the sky from the land and the bottomless sea. It changes its shape, yet it remains the same. The vapor changes into clouds due to condensation. It falls back on the surface of the earth to provide water to the drought-prone areas and to beautify and purify the earth, its birthplace. It provides life to the seeds inside the earth and helps them grow. The rain doesn't care if anyone bothers about her deeds or not. She completes her work and comes back home. The poet also compares the rain with the song as they both share a common journey. The song originates from the heart of the singer, travels across to fulfill the aim, and comes back with due love for the singer, its originator. First of all, we will do glossary and explanation. Who art thou? Who are you? Eternal, never ending, impalpable, which cannot be described. And who art thou? Said I to the soft falling shower, which, strange to tell, gave me an answer, as here translated, I am the palm of earth. Said the voice of the rain, eternal I rise, impalpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea. Explanation. In the above lines, the poet asked the soft falling shower, who are you? To which the rain replied in a strange or straight manner. The rain said that it was the palm of the earth, and it rose continuously from the land and bottomless sea in the form of vapors. Whence, where? Vaguely, not clearly. Descend, come down. Lave, wash. Atomize, small particles. Latent, hidden, buried. Upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed altogether, changed and yet the same. I descend to leave the draughts, atomize, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds only latent, unborn. Explanation. The rain tells the poet that it rises upwards towards the sky in the form of vapor, where it changes its form. It also says that although its form gets changed, yet it still remains the same. The rain comes down to wash the drought and provide water. It also washes away the dust and small particles from the earth's surface, and the seed inside the earth grow into a plant because of the water provided by the rain. It gives life to the seeds. Origin, birthplace, after fulfillment, after completing, wandering, going from one place to another, wrecked or unwrecked, whether cared for or not cared for, duly, systematically, and forever by day and night, I give back life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. Explanation. The rain says that by day and night it provides life, care, enrichment, and water to the place from where it originated. The rain keeps enhancing the beauty and purity of the earth by preparing a life cycle for itself again. For song issuing from its birthplace, after fulfillment, wandering, ragged or unragged, duly with love returns. The rain is like a song that originates from its birthplace, just like the heart of the singer, and travels to fulfill the earth's needs and wonders. It finally comes back to the place from where it originated, whether it is ruined or not. It returns to the original position with a lot of love to its birthplace. There is no rhyming scheme in this poem. The poem is written in free verse. Literary device. Our first literary device is personification. The poet used a non-living thing as a living thing in this poem because the rain is not a human being, but it is calling itself. The pronoun I is used for human beings. Here I am the palm of earth, said the voice of the rain. So personification here, and next is metaphor. An indirect comparison between the qualities of different things. I am the palm of earth. Rain is being compared to a palm. Next is imagery. In the first line of the poem, the poet gives the reader an image of gentle rain. For example, soft falling shower. Next is hyperbole. Is a literary device where the poet uses specific words and phrases that exaggerate and overemphasize. We see hyperbole in the last line, bottomless sea. And next is alliteration. Said to the soft falling shower whence vaguely formed. First letter is consonant S, next soft S, shower S, whence W, vaguely V. So alliteration here. Next literary device is personification. Personification is to give human quality to inanimate objects. In this form, the poet personifies rain. Used in the whole poem, the rain is personized. I descend to leave the draughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe. And next is antithesis, which literally means opposite. Here two opposite ideas are put together in a sentence to achieve a contrasting effect. For example, upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed, altogether changed, and yet the same. And next literary device is paradox. For example, in this form, descend to leave the draughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them without me were seeds only, latent, unborn. This is paradoxical because it seems unlikely that someone can give it to its own progenitor, who is life giver. Yet the reader has no reason to disbelieve this as the truth because the rain certainly gives life back to its origin, to the earth. And next is consonants. I descend to leave the draughts, atomies, dust layers to the globe. In this line, the sound is prominent. For example, descent, the sound, draughts, the, dust layers, the. And next is all that in them without. Here, the, th, all that, that, ts. The sound is prominent. Them, th, without th. That's why it's consonants. Our next literary device is simile. Simile is a figure of speech that directly compares two things. I am like earthly life. The rain is a life-giving source. I give back life to my own origin. Next is personification. Personification is to give human quality to inanimate objects. I give back life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. Next is consonants. When a consonant sound is repeating somewhere starting of the sentence, somewhere middle of the sentence, and somewhere ending of the sentence. And here, for example, wandering, R sound is prominent, ragged, R sound, unragged, R sound, duly, with love returns, returns, R sound is prominent. Next is anaphora. An anaphora is a rhetorical device in which a word or expression is repeated at the beginning of the number of sentence or adding rhythm to the stanza. Here, in this stanza, and word is repeating 3 times at the beginning of the lines. Conclusion. Through this poem, the poet gives us important message. The rain is a life-giving force because it helps the sea by giving life back to its own origin, making it pure and beautifying it at the same time. Rain is issued from the sea and after fulfillment, it duly returns to the sea to replenish it. As human beings, we are part of this large framework that keeps on functioning without the need for human intervention. We must remember the smallness of our stature when seen in context to the vast cosmos. Our lives would not function properly if these natural processes did not happen, such as rain. The main message to the readers: we must respect nature and understand because we are a part of nature. We help the natural environment. If we help them, then the nature helps us.
I hope you understood the glossary, explanation of the poem and literary device used here very well. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it will be useful to you. Make sure if you have any suggestion and comments, feel free to write in the comment section, and for more videos, like and subscribe my channel The English Lux, your key to English, and don't forget to hit the bell icon.